I've read this morning that Erik Ten Hag wants all his demands met or else he won't come to the club. You imagine in the next week, 10 days, they can't get Ten Hag over the line because of what's happening at the moment and how bad the club is and the state that the club's in.
Well, people in the Netherlands are probably asking him, do you want this job now?
Well,
have a good look at it.
You look at sort of what they're doing to players, Manchester United currently. There isn't a player that has grown, really. And you look at what they did to Van der Beek. And if you're Ten Hag, I think you're on the phone to Van der Beek. You're thinking, what's it like there, Donny? He ain't going to be saying anything good, is he? So I suspect that Ten Hag's demands, not financial demands, control, recruitment, structure, youth, I'm suspecting he's wanting to come in and make sure that he's not going to be exposed to what other managers have been exposed to in this last 10 years. And that might be too much for Manchester United. And I suspect they've got maybe a difficult week or two. I still think they may get it over the line. But the reports this morning were such that Erik Ten Hag's placing demands on the club that maybe are going above and beyond. Now, we don't know whether we should believe everything, but ordinarily nowadays, when things come out from the credible sources that we're seeing, in more areas than one, we normally know that's,
no smoke without fire.
Yeah. The old adage from sometimes is, you don't believe anything in the press. But that's actually false, actually, because journalists, they hear it from somewhere. And if you've got multiple sources that are credible reporting the same type of story, you can ordinarily believe there's something in it. And it's all gone quiet on the Maurizio Pochettino front. So it all feels like it's all eggs in one basket with Ten Hag. But if they can't get him over the line, what a position for Manchester United to be in if they can't get a manager to come in that wants to come in because of his demands on the way in about how the football club is run. And if you're Ralph Rangnick and you're reporting into Ten Hag and answering him honestly, which I suspect he will be, and if you're Van der Beek and answering him honestly, which I suspect he will be, and we know Edwin van der Sar's over there, who will be, speaking to Ten Hag honestly, they'll be saying be very careful. They'll be saying be very careful about going to Manchester United because it can be a graveyard at this moment in time for reputations. Ralph Rangnick came in with an incredible reputation, and he still has that reputation. But he's now starting to be wounded by what's happening around him. And he looks weaker and more vulnerable on the touchline because of the performances of the players on the pitch that are nothing to do with him. And I have to say that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's a good man. Those players liked him, and they turned him over. So I have to say it's a real difficult position for the club to be at. I feel a little bit at this moment in time, like most Manchester United fans, that I don't know where to turn next. What's going to happen? Living on the feeling still that one day the club will return. We know that, these times when you go low, but this is low. This is getting really low at this moment in time, and it will come back, and you look forward to that day. But those Liverpool fans there over in that far corner, they've been where Manchester United have been. They've been in those low moments when Manchester United have been winning. And they didn't have a team maybe that they could be as proud of. So they've been there. Maybe it's time for Manchester United fans to look over that shoulder and think, well, we'll be back there one day. But maybe it's time for those Manchester United players to obviously have a look at themselves as well. I do believe players want to do well. I believe those players want to do well. But what they're showing at this moment in time is nowhere near good enough.